Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your kind invitation. I feel honored to be present today, even in this virtual way, at this event on behalf of the Deputy Minister of Greek Ministry of Environment and Energy, and present to you our vision, our actions, and why not some of our weaknesses to face the challenge of raw materials supply in the green transition era. A European, but also a global challenge for resources will become fierce in the next decades. There is no doubt that the present and future of mining are strongly connected to energy transition, being one of the key factors to the transition to renewable energy resources and production, electric vehicles, etc., and that this demand for critical raw materials is expected to increase significantly in the following years and decades. Simply put, in the green transition, metals are at the center of the production, transport, and energy and storage of energy. Dependence of raw materials may soon replace today's dependence on oil. The combined market value of key energy transition minerals such as copper, lithium, nickel, cobalt, graphite, and rare earth elements more than doubles to reach 800 US billion dollars by 2030 and 2040 in the net zero scenario. In the near future, it won't be an exaggeration to identify raw materials as the stuff the dreams are made of. The European Union's ambition to become the first climate neutral economy by 2050 and the European Green Deal that has established objectives and targets for resilience and strategic autonomy all rely heavily on raw materials that stand at the very beginning of its value chain. In an important move to secure the supply of essential raw materials, the European Critical Raw Materials Act here entered into force in May earlier this year, 2024. The CRMA Act introduces the concept of strategic raw materials based on objective criteria, including their economic importance and their supply risk. Also, this act sets ambitious mining, processing, and recycling benchmarks from 2030. You see here in the image 10% for extraction to be sourced domestically, 40% for processing to occur within the European Union, and 25% of the annual consumption to come from recycling. As you can see from the estimated current levels, the average of European member states, are well behind from these targets. Actually, Europe's current CRM dependency problem is rather huge. For example, Europe is almost 100% reliant on imports of lithium for the production of lithium-ion batteries. However, the European potential to explore and mine its resources and produce strategic and critical elements, such as lithium, remains largely unattached, partly due to the reluctant attitude towards mining in several European countries. Most of the disputes among companies and various stakeholders occur as a result of conflicting land uses or due to an advanced risk for affecting the environment, the communities, and the ecosystems in the areas of concern. An example in the image, recent protests in Serbia concerning the Jadar project for lithium highlight the complexity of initiating new mines in Europe. We face the same kind of problems in our country as well. Social license to operate and public acceptance is the main problem everywhere in Europe and has to be addressed as a priority. I'll go back to the subject in the end of my speech, but now let me go to the next item of the agenda, I mean Greece, and give the average status of mining activity. Greece is a European Union country with a significant mineral resources background in terms of quality, quantity, and variety of ores, minerals, and aggregates. High quality and the many specialized uses of minerals available in Greece in comparison with other European Union countries and internationally provide significant comparative advantages and positive perspectives to the economy of the country. Mining industry is strongly outward looking since it possesses some highly marketable minerals and exports account for more than 70% of national shares. Today, mining companies hold significant market shares in products such as bauxite, aluminum, ferronickel, magnesite, gold, silver, and copper bearing mixed sulfides, ores, and concentrates. The pending production of copper, gold, chromium, nickel, and cobalt separately in the near future will strengthen the country's mining industry. Greece is also a major global supplier of several key industrial minerals, notably bentonite, see here, perlite, pumice, and silica. Country's position as a producer of these minerals is well established. Here you can see a general view of mineral resources of Greece. Greece also produces excellent marbles with the M symbol for 5,000 years, and the marble sector is a traditional sector in Greece, a valuable sector, I dare say, which has been much appreciated as it has helped us to maintain our cultural sustainability throughout the centuries. If you have a good look on the map for the detailed resources, you will see that the potential is even bigger. What is the impact of the Greek mining industry on the economy of Greece? Greek mining industry occupies 0.3% of the Greek land and provides 3% of the national GDP. Mineral resource activity has traditionally been a key factor of economic development, employment in both urban centers but mainly in the periphery, and trade, and ultimately competitive advantage for the Greek economy. Moreover, approximately 20,000 people are employed in the sector, and more than 80,000 people are employed in jobs dependent upon or associated with it. You can look at the picture for more detailed number documentation. Let us now proceed with an important question. Does Greece produce or have potential mineral resources for critical raw materials and transition metals? And the answer is yes. Greece has the potential to produce certain critical raw materials and strategic raw materials, which are largely contained in state-owned areas, but also holds strong indications for further research on the era. However, the existing potential requires updating and reliable technical economic approaches regarding the specific reserve potential to be exploited. Also, targeted new research and preparation of a more specific study is required in each individual case. According to the European Union list of critical raw materials, see here, and based on the Hellenic Survey of Geology and Mining Exploration estimates, and some published research results from the Greek academia, we can make an indicative reference to the critical strategic raw materials potential included in minerals of Greece. See here, bauxite for the production of alumina and metallic aluminium. We have to mention here that Greece is the largest bauxite producer in the European Union, with Greek bauxite also including gallium and scandium, which can be recovered from the metallurgical residues. Nickel cobalt bearing laterites, currently not produced separately. Copper and graphite, magnesite, hydromagnesite, polymetallic mixed sulfides containing iron, zinc, lead, silver, and gold, stibnite adimonite for antimony tungsten, quartz with high purity silicon, phosphorite including rare earths, zeolite and wolframite for tungsten, platinum group metals, strong evidence for rare earths, mainly cerium, lanthanum, and neodymium in the sediments of the North Aegean, and are associated with the mineral allanite, also tellurium, molybdenite with rhenium content, bismuth, germanium, and indium. And another important question comes next. What are the main challenges and bottlenecks that make mining in Greece difficult, or in some cases not applicable and not possible? In Greece, there are some shortcomings and weaknesses of the Greek administration or challenges affecting the sector which have to be addressed. First, there is a lack of comprehensive land use planning and particularities of the Greek system which are reflected in the permitting procedure. For example, Greek land registry has not been completed yet, resulting in the fact that there are areas around the country where the land ownership is not quite clear. Second, there is a social resistance towards new mining projects for fear of bad environmental practices or practices that impose risk to the monuments of cultural heritage. And third, absence of thorough knowledge and understanding of the potential of mineral resources. We should further investigate this potential with the Hellenic Survey of Geology and Mineral Exploration, official advisor of the country on exploration matters, as it reflects the possibility and degree of exploitability and consequently the possible investments. And fourth, licensing framework that needs updating to meet CRMA Act targets. I will talk about a little later about that when analyzing the national steps and actions for mineral sector's development. Let me elaborate on the second one, social acceptance and resisting towards mining. There are two additional parameters that are critical for investing in this sector in Greece. Ancient monuments, and generally our cultural heritage that has to be protected, and second, the environmental protected areas, Natura 2000 and other networks, which are numerous and need provisions in special and land use planning. Special protected areas cover 1/3 of the terrestrial surface of the country and up to 22 of national territorial waters. Greece is now 7th in the 27th EU members states in terms of coverage, exceeding the European Union average by 9 percentage points. Well, this is a well-known information. What is not well known, it is unfortunately or fortunately a great deal of deposits that are to be mined or places to be investigated have been located in this to a considerable extent within these environmentally protected areas. Actually, see here, 30 to 35% of the reserve potential of mineral raw materials in Greece is within this Natura 2000 network, excluding the areas related to the hydrocarbon deposits. And of course, the question is quite obvious. But what is the answer regarding this question? Well, to my opinion, the answer is that if we do not want to completely suspend mining and exploitation of our mineral wealth in protected areas, we must find a way to coexist. Legal framework for protection exists, needs to be further clarified with the help of a special planning for mineral raw materials, which is an ongoing reform to us, and implemented by the administration. And let's continue now with the national steps and actions for the sector according to the Ministry's action plan. Our strategic goal is to unlock the existing mineral potential of the country, contributing to the European transition progress, and at the same time, we have established a roadmap with three main axes of action to address the above issues. First, a 5-year targeted national exploration project, including a re-evaluation of the mineral resources on primary and secondary CRMs, with a focus on those CRMs suitable for energy transition. This initiative will be implemented through Hellenic Survey of Geology and Mineral Exploration, which is responsible for the national policy of mining research in the country. Second, international tendering procedures for mature CRM promising projects, which will bring them into an immediate step up investment perspective for the benefit of our national economy, but also following the concerns about criticality and necessity of these materials at the European and the worldwide level. Till the end of 2024, our action plan includes 2 tender announcements for the lease of a relative number of state-owned mining areas. Third, focused improvements in our licensing framework and securing its implementation over time in a consistent and transparent way. Greek mining code, despite its relatively satisfactory implementation over time, over the years, requires updating. Moreover, new legislative provisions will be introduced regarding post-mining rehabilitation and alternative uses of ex-mining sites, which are seen as a new kind of wealth with great potential. And at the same time, we are committed to a full and timely implementation of the requirements of the European regulation, the CRMA Act. In this content, we have to design and put in action competent administrative units called single points of contact, responsible for coordinating the permit granting process for critical strategic raw materials project for both extraction and processing of minerals in the country. And finally, last but not least, an often overlooked the need to promote responsible mining under strong social, environmental, and labor standards. A need that goes together with the need for public awareness and social perception, which are important key elements nowadays. All aspects of our roadmap are covered by the vision to enhance the acceptability of extractive projects in our country, but also generally everywhere. New mining activities cannot be implemented by force, especially in our country with a long historical and archaeological heritage that need to be protected and preserved. Our vision is to fully implement the social license to operate, which is a social consent passport that has to go beyond meeting all legal regulations. For us, the key action is to capture and incorporate, see here, all the values, aspirations, and vision of the communities involved, while at the same time encourage and develop a diversified economic base for long-term prosperity. We strongly believe that European authorities should emphasize to this crucial key element too. We believe that through strategically focused and systematic community engagement and communication, we will manage to eliminate antagonistic relationships with other prominent local industry, for instance, tourism, and promote joint value creation. In the case of tourism, which is a vital sector for our country prosperity, our main concern is to shift the relationship between tourism and mining in the local economy from antagonistic here to complementary with all the expected benefits for national economy. Thank you very much.